What's up guys, my name is Ace, and welcome back to another gun guide. This is the series where I go into great detail with all of the stats as well as some excellent attachment combinations for every gun in Call of Duty Vanguard. And in today's episode, we're going to be moving on to the Owen SMG. And starting it off as always, let's have a look at our damage profile, and our base damage is 34, 33, 22, meaning it'll be a 3, 4, or 5 shot kill. If, however, you're hitting the upper torso, you get a pretty solid damage multiplier here, and up close, we actually deal 50 damage on our first shot to the upper torso, but for some reason, there's some weird interaction here. Even though you deal 50 damage with the first shot, you can't get a 2-shot kill with this gun. The second shot, for some reason, always seems to deal 48 damage, and therefore, as far as we're concerned, this deals 49 damage per shot to the upper torso, not actually 50. But you will notice there with upper torso shots, it'll be a 3 to 4 shot kill. And then we'll have a look at our headshot damage, which is actually identical to our upper torso damage, and we get that exact same strange behavior where the first shot will deal 50 damage, but the second always deals 48, and therefore up close it's effectively 49 damage, so there's no 2-shot kill potential, at least without attachments on this. Now, as for our rate of fire, this is the slowest in the SMG category at 500 rounds per minute. And what this means for our time to kill potential is in the 3-shot kill range, it's 240 milliseconds, which is a decent time to kill. It's pretty competitive. However, when we get to a 4-shot kill, it's quite a steep drop off, and we're now killing in 360 milliseconds. Then taking a look at our bullet velocity, this is just standard for SMGs at 353 meters per second, and now let's get into our range values, which are actually identical to the Type 100. So our first damage drop-off will extend out to 20 meters, and that's where it's a guaranteed 3-shot kill, even if you shoot them in the leg or the foot. Then the second 3-shot kill range, this one does require at least one of the bullets to hit the upper torso. This one extends out to 38 meters, and then anything beyond that will be a 4-shot kill, again, assuming at least one of those bullets hits the upper torso, which is likely to happen. As for hardcore, the Owen's actually really good in hardcore modes. It's a guaranteed 1-shot kill anywhere in the body out to 38 meters, and then beyond 38 meters, you just have to hit them in the upper torso, neck, or head, and you can still get a 1-shot kill. Anywhere else in the body will be a 2-shot kill though. And now let's move on to our hipfire, which as you can see here, the Owen's kind of right in the middle for the SMG category. It's not great, but it's also not bad. And after that, we'll have a look at our idle sway, which is actually pretty bad on the Owen. You can see those sights are wiggling around quite a bit while aiming down sight, which will absolutely affect that first shot accuracy. And now let's get into recoil. And as we can see here, it kicks upward and a little bit to the right. There's some side-to-side bounce there, but not a whole lot. It's fairly controllable. One thing I do want to point out, though, is there is a decent jump after the first shot that you fire. And then after that, it's not so bad. But that first shot jump, you definitely have to be aware of, and you want to be ready for that. As for our aim down sight spread or bloom, the Owen's actually the best in the category. It's got basically no bloom on it, so that's great news, especially if you're trying to stretch your ranges out. Now, moving on to handling, we've got pretty standard aim down sight time for an SMG at 200 milliseconds, and our sprint out time is also pretty standard for an SMG, no surprises here. And then let's get into our reload add time, which is fairly fast for an SMG at 1.49 seconds. And this just leaves us with our mobility. And unfortunately, the Owen is the worst out of the SMG category in every single mobility stat. So that is one of the downsides of using this gun. You're not going to get around the map as fast as the other SMGs. And with that, that about wraps it up for the base stats of the Owen, but now let's get into some really important attachments, and we're going to start it off with the barrels and how the different barrels will impact our recoil. And as you can see here, the first barrel attachment, this one will increase our recoil just a little bit. It just increases the overall magnitude of that recoil. The second barrel increases it even more, especially on the horizontal axis. It's going to be very difficult to control that rapid barrel. However, the third and final barrel attachment, the precision barrel, this one makes the gun incredibly accurate. It essentially eliminates any side-to-side bounce and almost all horizontal recoil, and therefore it basically just kicks straight upward, and this is extremely easy to predict and control. As for how these barrels impact our ranges, the first one pretty much destroys our 3-shot kill potential, unfortunately. The second one doesn't change our range value at all, but it helps a bit with our time to kill. This is due to the rate of fire. And then the third and final barrel will give us the best boost to our range values, as you can see there. Now, all of the barrels for the Owen are actually quite interesting, so I'm going to take a deeper look at all of them. And when it comes to that first barrel, the shrouded barrel, this one will now make the gun a very consistent 3 to 4 shot kill anywhere. It'll never drop off to a 5-shot kill, and it doesn't matter where in the body you're shooting them. All that matters is your range. So if you're up close, it's always going to be a 3-shot kill, and if you're at a distance, it's always going to be a 4-shot kill. However, this comes at the cost of a significantly shorter potential 3-shot kill range. So without this barrel, as long as you're hitting upper torso shots, you can actually get a much better 3-shot kill potential. This one's just going to give you more consistency across the board if you're somebody that's often shooting people in the legs or the lower torso. Now, when you also factor in the increase to our recoil with this barrel, I would say it's just generally not worth using, and honestly, I'd rather not have a barrel at all compared to having this one equipped. As for the second barrel, this is the rapid barrel. This one increases our rate of fire by a very large margin, up to 618 rounds per minute, and it has no negative impact on our damage, which means our time to kill potential is now 194 milliseconds in our 3-shot kill range, which is an amazing time to kill, and even in our 4-shot kill range, our time to kill is not bad at 291 milliseconds. Now, the huge unfortunate downside to this is the fact that it pretty massively increases our recoil, and it makes it far more difficult to control and predict. And therefore, if you're just planning on using this right up close and personal, this is great. However, the moment you try to challenge somebody at even mid-range, you're probably going to struggle with that recoil. But finally, for barrels, we have the precision barrel, and this is the one that increases our headshot damage, and at least it's stated that this is supposed to reduce our body damage. However, I've done the testing on this, and that's not the case. So what this means is now we deal 51 damage to the head up close and personal, and we can get a 2-shot kill. Just with one headshot combined with an upper torso shot or 2 headshots in a row, this will give you a 2-shot kill, which gives you a time to kill potential of 120 milliseconds, which is ridiculously fast in this game. And when you also consider the fact that this increases our ranges, as well as it makes the gun quite a bit more accurate, this is a really good choice for the Owen, and I highly recommend using it, assuming you've got it unlocked. So there we have it. That's going to wrap it up for the barrels. Now let's move on to the magazine attachments, and we're going to start it off once again with the recoil. And as you can see here, if you use the 7.62 Gorenko ammunition, this will definitely help you with your recoil. The total magnitude of that recoil is brought down quite a bit. However, with the 8mm Kurz rounds, this one does the opposite. This one increases the magnitude of recoil, and especially that jump between the first and second shot. That is huge with the 8mm Kurz rounds, and this is absolutely going to throw you off target at mid to longer ranges. So definitely something to consider when looking at that. However, that's not the whole picture. Let's also have a look at how this impacts our ranges. And as we can see here, with 7.62 Gorenko, our range values are reduced, and with the 8mm Kurz rounds, we get a nice boost to our ranges. Now, diving a little bit deeper into these different calibers, with the 7.62 Gorenko ammunition, we still have a 3 to 4 shot kill potential in all of the same ranges. However, it's much less forgiving, and now at any range, at least 2 of your shots have to be hitting the upper torso or the head if you want to maintain the optimal shot to kill potential within that range. Now, to compensate for that, we do have a very noticeably faster rate of fire, which does improve our time to kill potential by a noticeable margin. Our new time to kill potential in our 3-shot kill range is 204 milliseconds, which is great. So I would say with this one, it's only good if you're confident in hitting those upper torso shots. If you're somebody that consistently hits people in the legs or the lower torso, for instance, then this straight up isn't going to be the magazine attachment for you. I would stay away from it. If, however, you are consistent and accurate and able to confidently hit those upper torso shots, you may want to consider using this. But with that, let's move on to the other caliber we can use with this, which is the 8mm Kurz rounds. And with this, it's now going to be a guaranteed 3 to 4 shot kill in all of the same ranges. So this one is way more forgiving. However, it does come with a very slight reduction to our rate of fire, which very slightly increases our time to kill up to 244 milliseconds. Now, this 4 millisecond difference in our time to kill is negligible though, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. And as a result, I'd say this barrel is great for consistency, but we do have to remember the fact that this does very noticeably increase our recoil, and therefore, at least for me, I would much rather just use the standard 9mm than either of these other calibers on the Owen. And with that, that's finally going to wrap it up for all of the important stats that I wanted to cover for the Owen. Now let's move into some excellent attachment combinations. And the first one I'm going to share for you guys, this is straight up my preferred way of running this. I really like this particular setup. And with this, the main thing to point out is that precision barrel. This is the one that massively improves recoil and also makes it so we can get a 2-shot kill as long as at least one bullet hits the upper torso and the other one hits the neck or the head. Now, aside from that barrel, I've just got really balanced attachments on this. So we've got a solid bullet velocity, great handling, just an overall great gun to be using. And I really, really like this particular setup. Even if you don't have that precision barrel unlocked, throw all these other attachments on and you're still going to have a very good gun on your hands. As for the second class setup that I'm going to share for you guys, this one's more of a niche build. I wouldn't recommend using this in all situations. This is more so if you're just playing on a really close quarters map and you don't want to stretch your ranges out at all, and maybe you want to try something different. This is my Hipfire build, and the reason I call it that is we've got a lot of attachments to help our Hipfire spread, so we actually get quite a tight Hipfire spread with this. We're also using the incendiary ammo, which if you hit 2 upper torso shots, you won't get the 2-shot kill immediately, but you can get a 2-shot kill after that burn damage takes effect. And then you'll also notice we are massively boosting our rate of fire by using the recoil booster as well as the rapid barrel, which gives us 182 millisecond time to kill in the 3-shot kill range. So this is great for like really up close and personal situations. However, when you have a look at the recoil, as you can see there, this is practically uncontrollable outside of close range situations. And that's why this is more of a niche build. And with that, that's going to wrap it up for today's gun guide on the Owen SMG. As for my thoughts on this gun, it's not my favorite gun to be using in the game. I think that really slow fire rate makes it quite unforgiving. However, it's very usable, it's a very solid gun, and I think especially once you get that precision barrel, if you're somebody that's confident hitting those upper torso and headshots, you're going to find a lot of success with this. If, however, you're not so confident with your aim, this likely isn't going to be the gun for you. Now, of course, those are just my opinions of the Owen. I'd like to hear what you guys think of it in the comment section below. And also, if you guys have missed any of the previous episodes of Gun Guides, I will, of course, leave a link to the playlist in the description down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated. And don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.